this nasty, nasty bullshit. Oh, I'm a mad son of a bitch today. Look at this shit. Does this look like a Wyoming sky to you people? Regular black to black and red, black and orange. Austrian Airlines doing some full wing on off death action here. No, that's not obvious. Oh yeah, there's some Harvard sauce there. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now this is this must be a new. Jeez, really, people? Jeez, KLM. See the Black Death there. That's not a shadow, those are chemicals. Super full range. And then just shut everything off, huh? Oh, isn't that magical? People still don't get it. I showed some people the full wing death. Clearly see it's a crop duster. Pupils dilate, turn away. That is not good. And it is a big, thick rail of shit. How nobody can see that bullshit is mind-boggling. On the road up to Paradise, we're on, what's today, 12/14?
I'll check.
12/15, something like
15.
that. There's a PG&E truck. We're going to show the whole PG&E stations. There's another PG. We're being held here to go up into Paradise as we go up the hill.
What we should see.
We'll say that again. I'm with Valerie Jager, who's with Full Circle Schooling, and we're going to help deliver food to people. But what were you saying, Valerie?
Well, we're entering Paradise, and all this construction is happening on the sides of the road. So what we hope to see, what we should see, is when we're in Paradise, just as much work as this or more is what we would all expect, right? So that's what I'm hoping to see.
And also notice the trees here. You can see the trees burnt from the bottom. Here more landside. This green stuff they spray to stabilize soil. But notice the trees are only burnt from the bottom up.
Still the top of the trees. The logging is, oh, look at this operation here. So why are they logging all the trees here, folks? Why aren't they cleaning out the town of Paradise and making it? They're widening the road. This is Yankee Hill we're at. And
look at that.
This is all destroyed over here. And look at them clear cut the sides of the roads like they're going to expand the road wider. Why are they clear cutting the sides here and just taking out the trees? Why are they doing that? Why aren't they doing it around Paradise and around the areas where the homes were lost and clearing out the trees there? We'll get into it a little more, but we're still a few miles from Paradise. And here's some claws that are taken down the hillside where some of these trees were burnt and falling over next to the main access road up into Paradise. So they're cleaning this road up, making sure the road's nice and clean, and excavating these trees. Look, they clear cut all these trees down into that canyon. Why would they do that when they're supposed to be rebuilding Paradise? Why are they here on this road down here, and they're putting all this landscape, all this ground cover, this sod cover, and they're treating the trees on the way up the hill? And we're going to show you up here as well how they're rebuilding the guardrails. Why are they rebuilding the guardrails already if the town of Paradise needs to be rebuilt? We're still 6-7 miles outside of Paradise, and they're mitigating and landscaping and tree cutting these areas down below Paradise. Doesn't make any sense unless they're cleaning up their home and sprucing it up for them to move into. Okay, a little farther up the road, they got this green stuff. You landscape guys, tell us what this is. But why are they covering all the trees after they cut them with the soil stabilizers so they can grow back? They want stuff to grow back. Here, they're clear cutting over here. Looks like there was a house there. This came all the way through this canyon. This road must have been hell trying to get out from here. You imagine the flames just engulfing this whole area and it being on fire, but it was cloud cover. It was the middle of the night. You couldn't see anything. It was 8:30 in the morning, but it was like the middle of the night, they said. They couldn't see anything. And here it's all burned out on the ground level. The ground's all singed. The tree bottoms are singed. Tree tops are okay. And it's just all the way through this road. It must have been hell trying to get out of here the morning of November 8th. Hi, Awakening Truthers, and welcome, folks. I want to continue on this narrative because we need to understand what hell these people have gone through. The people we met yesterday are going through post-traumatic stress syndromes. They're getting psychiatric counseling. They're finding no one is there to help them. FEMA's not there. Red Cross is not there. They're scattered. They're broke. Their FEMA money is running out. They have no one to help and no one to talk to. This was from the Malibu fires. November 9th is the day I ran for my life and drove through the fire to escape. I was one of the last ones to leave my community and saw a suspicious aircraft. I thought it was a water bomber. I went to the beach and waited for the water bombers. The water bombers never came. Same up in Paradise. Same in Santa Rosa. Same everywhere else. Where's the former Evergreen? Where's all the dropping retardants? Where's all the, oh, we can't see. Baloney. You've got GPS. You can hit us with lasers and you can't see to drop water to help the people and put out these fires. We also have first-person testimony that no fire trucks came up over 2 hours in Paradise when the crisis hit. Nobody was warned to leave. People were put into Walmarts and other herded into areas and they never got out. Do you understand what we're saying here, folks? Do you understand what is going on here? I had to drive through the fire to get out. I'm sure the aircraft I thought was a water bomber was in fact a fire bomber, either dropping fire or laser beams. Was in fact a fire bomber, either dropping fire or laser beams. I have many questions and concerns. If it wasn't for my husband waking me up that morning, I would have slept right through it. We had no warning. No emergency text alert, no bullhorn. We basically woke up to fire at our back door and ran for our lives. My thoughts and prayers are with the people in Paradise, California. My greatest fear is that it could have been me burning to death. I have never been so scared in my life. I have many questions and concerns and would like to provide eyewitness testimony if any way can help solve this mystery. Paradise Lost. Cal Fire Chief State must mull home ban in fire-prone areas. December 11th, 5 days ago. I'm not going to play his incredibly ridiculous statement as he's leaving office. But he's saying California's increasingly deadly and destructive fires have become so unpredictable. No, you can predict them because you're causing them. Could consider banning home construction in vulnerable areas. Should consider banning home construction in vulnerable areas, the state's top firefighters said. See what's going on here? He'll leave his job after 30 years with the agency. He said the government and citizens must act differently to protect lives and property from fires that routinely threaten them. Well, sir, where was your Cal Fire when the people in Paradise need you and they're saying no fire trucks came to their rescue? And as you'll hear in testimony coming up, other areas were burning and could have been saved, and the fire trucks stood down. The bulldozer stood down and let them burn. We have first-person account testimony coming up on that. Los Angeles County supervisors were considering whether to allow 19,000 home development in fire-prone mountains amid heavy criticism of locations' high fire danger. How about heavy criticism of Cal Fire and their lack of coverage, the lack of fire support from the air, the lack of concern for the people that have lost their lives? There's no burials and funerals being held in Paradise outside there in Chico or anywhere else. There's no one helping these people. There's no Red Cross. You don't see any donating money buttons like you saw after Hurricane Harvey and Irma to say, hey, donate for the fire victims after the fires in Santa Rosa. You're not seeing that now from the Red Cross. They don't care about you, and they don't care about your children, and they do not care about me or anyone else. It's their agenda. California residents should also train themselves to respond more quickly to warnings. We didn't get any warnings. And make preparations to shelter in place if they can't outrun the fires and be torched out in their homes. Is that what you're saying, Fire Captain Pimlott retiring? They died. They died sheltering in place. The only ones that got out were the ones that thought for themselves, had enough gas, and got out of there. It was hell on earth. And you're telling them to shelter in place? They had no warnings. The only place that got warnings was Facebook and said, get out. Get out now. Communities in fire zones need to harden key buildings with fireproof construction, similar to the way cities prepare for earthquakes. How do you prepare for a 100,000-foot Kmart to get torched in the guts of it and leave the eucalyptus trees outside alone? How do you prepare, as we're going to show in the videos, for one home being torched, the hospitals being fine right across the street, and the next home being fine, and the next 3 homes being torched, while the plastic gas cans and the plastic mailboxes are fine? Prepare? Earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes. Should prepare commercial or public buildings to withstand fires with expectations hundreds may shelter, as they did in makeshift fashions when flames last month largely destroyed the Sierra Nevada foothills city of Paradise in Northern California. We have firsthand accounts of how they herded into these buildings in Paradise, and they never got out. The only ones that got out were the ones that thought for themselves, and they were stuck in traffic heading down the hill in the 2-lane road heading out of Skyway, heading out of Paradise down to 99 West, because the fires were coming in from behind them from the east, where no winds ever occur. And they were stuck in traffic with 2-lane roads coming out that were empty. They could have gotten out. They were blocked. California already has the nation's most robust building requirement programs. Yes, they're adding solar panels you must build. Yes, they're saying all the homes being built will be all electric. Yes, they're saying all homes being built must be self-sufficient energy-wise. What's the cost going to be on that? Oh, yeah, and then they got to have batteries in your garages so you can get out, so you can't pull the string because people are trapped in their garages and couldn't get their car out. So now you're making requirements to have batteries in your garages. Oh, by the way, the benzene in the soil makes it contaminated so people can't rebuild. They still haven't rebuilt here in Santa Rosa. They're not going to be rebuilding in Paradise. Officials must consider prohibiting construction in particular vulnerable areas. So they're leaving it to the local agencies to decide. Santa Rosa's already acting. They've already formed their terms. I'm sorry, man. This is just pissing me off. He said it's uncertain if those decisions to be made by local land managers or the state level, as legislative leaders have suggested. But Pimlott said, quote, "We owe it to homeowners, firefighters, and communities, quote, so that they don't have to keep going through what we're going through." What are you going through, sir? You stood down. You abandoned your post. You abandoned the people that needed you the most at the time they needed you the most. And now you're talking about planning commissions and rebuilding when the people are still homeless that we met yesterday. They're desolate. They're having post-traumatic stress syndrome, like being bombed. Guy told me it reminded me of Vietnam. He was having stress syndromes from just flashbacks from Vietnam. It looked like hell on earth. And you're talking about unbelievable. California's population has doubled to 40 million, blah, blah, blah. Scenic canyons, blah, blah, blah. And they're focusing on paradise. They're not focusing on Napa. They're not focusing on Redding. They're not focusing on Malibu. They're focusing on paradise. That's where Trump went. That's where Gavin Newsom. That's where Jerry Brown, all the Jesuits went to say pleasure. Oops, I made a mistake. Paradise. See what they're saying, folks? We're going to show you how they're taking over paradise. After crippling drought, the last 2 years have seen the worst fires in state histories. November's fire in North Carolina was Paradise was the deadliest U.S. wildfire in a century, killing at least 85 people. 85 people? Are you kidding me? You're saying 52,000 people evacuated and only 85 people died? I'm sorry, but we have tow truck drivers on record going in there 3 days after, and he said 200 bodies easy, I saw, just going in. And we can't find the people to help. We were searching all over. How can we help? We found a few, but there's no organizations that are helping. We went to the FEMA Center, massive FEMA Center by the Chico Airport. How can we give the clothes we have? How can we give to people? The National Guard had to go ask his supervisor at the Office of Emergency Services in this massive setup, staging area that FEMA has, and he has to ask his supervisor how we could help, where we could deliver clothes to. Who are they working for, folks? And we just have new evidence that FEMA just bought the property. They're buying land. They're not going anywhere. Ever since the last 2013 firefighters do not anticipate California fires could get worse. But each year the fires have increased in intensity, driven by fuels, how about lasers? An estimated 129 million drought and bark beetle killed trees and climate change. No, directed energy weapons attacks with no support after we've been attacked from the air. You see a few helicopters, but nobody was helping us after the fires in Santa Rosa. There were no tankers that were dropping retardants. They show a picture of it, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen up in Redding. They said the same thing. They interviewed guys. How come you didn't drop the retardants? Oh, we couldn't see. We couldn't see. In response, the state is doing more planned burning. Jerry Brown's announced that he's going to clear cut trees so that there's not fuel for the fires. Logging resources. We're going to show how that's working too in the next videos. To eliminate brush and dead trees that serve as fuels for the wildfires. Another misnomer, they said, oh, we're in the greatest drought in history. Well, yes, maybe we are. But also in 2017, we had the second greatest rain and snowfall recorded in history. 2017, folks, the atmospheric river. It wasn't that dry. And then they say, oh, it was wet, so it grew the trees, so they got more to burn. Which is it, folks? Which is it? The state will also add 7 large firefighting aircraft. They won't use them. They'll just spend the money on them, replacing a dozen aging helicopters. Providing firefighter counseling, ensure that firefighters have enough time off for medical checkups, mental health checkups, to help them manage the mental and physical stress from a fire season that now never ends. That's what Jerry Brown said, the governor going out, Moonbeam Brown, that fires will be lasting for the next 10, 15, 20 years in the new abnormal and will gain in intensity. We're in the first inning, folks, of this horror nightmare scenario. He said California leads the nation in clearing away dead trees and thinning forested areas. Google Red Emerson, the largest owner of lumber in the country. More land than Ted Turner, richer than Bill Gates. Cui bono? Who benefits? No other state or even federal government are putting the amount of investment in this space as California. Yeah, who's it benefiting? Department's philosophy for years has been to stamp out fires quickly to protect people and property. Fail, fail, fail. Prescribed burns were previously used sparingly. He said the department is making, quote, a sea of change by recognizing that starting fires under optimum conditions is a way to reduce dangerous fuels. They're going to be setting fires, they're telling you. Recognize that starting fires under optimum conditions is a good optimum conditions. You're talking about winds of 237 miles an hour, moving 80 football fields a minute. Optimum conditions to start a fire. You're going to add fuel to the fire. You've seen the helicopters right next to the burn areas dropping the balls, the little balls that have the chemicals in them to incite the fires. We've talked to 20-year veteran firefighter captains who said that's no way to stop a burn. That's not a back burn. It's not at all a back burn. Won't go on record, but that's what he told me. Also told me that a lot of the fire people he talked to, the firefighters he talks to as well, 2 fire captains said the same thing. People in the fire departments are scared shitless. They're scared of what they're having to go into. They've never seen anything like it before. And remember, we saw white powder being reported on top of the trees in Paradise. That's the aluminum oxidants they sprayed. Then they also reported fire, the same thing. White powder was dumped in January 2018 in the town of Paradise, prepping the soil. Recent fires that burned in the cities made clear that these protections need to be centered around vulnerable communities. Can you say resilient communities? Can you say Agenda 21? Stack them and pack them. If you're not familiar with Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, it's getting people out of the areas that they want, i.e., suburbs and rurals. They want it for themselves. They want the water, they want the lumber, they want the railways, but they don't want people. We're just useless eaters. We're just chattel. Google Georgia Guidestones, folks, if you don't believe any of the words I'm speaking. Georgia Guidestones, reduced population by some 95%. They put it in stone. Paradise was built on a ridgetop, steep canyons that help channel the wind-driven fire. Well, we're going to show you how that's bullshit, too. While wildfires have repeated, blown into northern and southern California subdivisions from neighboring wildlands thick with tinder-dried fuel. I'm sorry, but we're going to show you I got to show this picture right now. Now, are you, sir, Mr. Cal Fire Chief retiring Ken Pimlott, are you, sir, going to tell me this was a forest fire? Forest fire? I see the forest. I don't see the houses. This was a mobile home park that was destroyed, and the trees were left alone. And you're blowing smoke up our asses, telling us that this is your words, Northern California is growing at a rate of 80 football fields per minute. It's 237 miles an hour, not 327. I made a mistake. 237 miles an hour wind-driven fire with fuel from the forest, from the dead trees. Bullshit. Bullshit. We know what you're doing. We know why you're doing it. And we know how you're doing it. And you're mocking us. You're making fun of it. While people are being murdered in their homes, displaced, unaccounted for. We don't do body counts. And you're making fun of us. You're putting it on your soda cans. You're putting it on your beer cans. Oh, we're here to help. While you're taking in hundreds of millions in Red Cross and keeping the money. We're under attack, folks. Serious attack. They're telling you what they're doing, folks. They put it in stone. They're telling us their agenda. They put it in stone. And are they using smart meters to do the directed energy attacks? Likely, but that's just one of the tools they have. One of the many, many tools they are using. Remember this guy, Pat Tillman, star football player. After 9/11, he goes, I'm going to serve my country, goes to Afghanistan, and gets killed by his own people. Murdered. Anybody want to talk about it? He's not forgotten by me. Talk to his mother, his brother. They know what happened. They wrote a book about it. They really, really, really do not care about you, your well-being, your children's future. Why would they run up $22 trillion in debt? What's $1 trillion? And future debt obligations. Why would they send troops, protect the troops, save the troops, whatever, to go guard the opium fields in Afghanistan? Fifth world country. We've been dominating since after 9/11. Just like Iraq. Weapons of mass destruction that did not exist, and millions died. And that's where they started the directed energy weapons. That in Oakland, California in 1991. We saw the beginnings of what they were going to do. And they're executing their plan. Execution. Exactly. With precision technology. Highly advanced directed energy weapons. Moving on. Recent fires that burned in the cities have made clear that those protections need to be centered around vulnerable communities, resilient communities, as Deborah Tavares has written about. Again, the neighboring wildlands thick with tinder dry fuel. Droughts are going to continue. Water management in California 2022. Everybody's got to reduce their water consumption by 30% or it's $1,000 a day fine. Water is the new currency. Get it? Currency. Pimlott rose to the ranks from seasonal firefighter to deputy director of fire protection before his appointment as chief of the agency. He oversees the department, includes 8,000 firefighters. They're not fighting fires. They're not helping people. They're not there. Folks can say what they want, but firefighters are living climate change. Okay, let's dispel this word climate change and never use it again. Climate's always changing. What are they speaking to? It's another neuro-linguistic programming meme, NLP, climate change. Stop using it. Doesn't mean anything. It's their meme. To adapt, he advocates wildfire warning systems. Well, it's not working now, sir. Why are you advocating it working again in the future? If it's not working now, nobody got warned. Nobody was told to get out. You're telling them to shelter in place and they were burned out. Using new technology like automated phone calling systems. They want you all on the beast, folks. The beast is your smartphone. You can't live without it. Restoring civil defense style emergency sirens. City planners must prepare communities unlike we have ever before with easy evacuation routes. Now in Paradise, they had the evacuation drill in 2017. They mapped out all the routes people could get out on. They had it all set in place and it did not work. The fires came at 6:30 in the morning. That's the start. By 8:30, people were seeing fires in Paradise coming down from behind them in the east. They wondered what was happening. They didn't see the flames because this isn't a flame event. Neither did we see the flames here. We saw the orange sky, as you'll hear them say the same thing, but there was no fires to say, oh shit, it's right there. They looked to the TVs, said, oh, it's not there yet. No warnings. We're okay. The only way they got out was Facebook. Get the heck out. And there are other community people that they talked to before the phones were turned off. Get out. Get out now. Those are the ones that lived. The ones that didn't have gas couldn't make it out. We got a horrible picture. Let's see if I can find it. Well, I can't locate the picture, but it was on a ridge where there was a lone fire station and there was a lone car that was completely torched out, sitting at the gas station that was torched out, waiting for gas. And that was how they ended their lives, most likely. Or if they got on the road, they had to walk on the road in the hellfire. Pimlott says Californians must treat, quote, red flag extreme fire danger warnings. Red flags used to be in the ocean when you'd sail. You'd have a red flag day. Now they're bringing it on shore. Red flag is 20 mile per hour winds or greater can shut off your power. Yet they did not shut off the power in Paradise that day because they're, according to PG&E official narrative story, there was no winds. It did not justify shutting off the people in the power in paradise. Think about that. Quote, the reality of it is, California has a fire-prone climate and it will continue to burn. Fire is the way of life in California, and we have to learn how to live with it. We have to learn how to have more resilient, there's the word, we got it on the beer, resilient communities. Agenda 21, ICLEI. Shout out to Rosa Corey. She first was on this in Santa Rosa here. Shout out to Deborah Tavares, Resilient City. She's hammering away what's happening, folks. She's calling it. She called in 2011 the plans to burn down Northern California. The reality of it is California is a fire-prone climate and will continue to burn. We got to learn our lessons, folks. We got to understand what we're facing. Just in the past 15 months, we've had 2 fires in Redding, all the way up to the Oregon border. Lake County's had 4 fires in the past, 4 major fires the past 4 years. The Mendocino County complex fires. Santa Rosa, Sonoma fires. 170 fires started in one night in 9 counties. Retiring Cal Fire Chief Ken Pimlott's identified 13 of them. 157 still unaccounted for. This is USA Today. Cal Fire Chief, every year it seems to get worse. Priming the pump. Fire burned right up to the fence. They're talking about the Woolsey fire that happened the same time as the Paradise fires. Started burning in my bushes. I built my home and I didn't want to leave. Bancroft saved his home. Many homeowners lost their homes and have to contemplate whether to start anew. Well, you're not being allowed to start anew. Some experts say enough is enough. What experts? Makes no sense to rebuild again in brushy areas. Brushy areas that are repeatedly swept by wildfires, they argue. And as of now, the worst of the Woolsey fires appears to be over. The fire destroyed 616 homes, but only a few people died. That's all. 3 people. Bullshit. Oh, the blazes have been coming since 1929, according to Malibu Times. And they burned out the celebrities, Miley Cyrus, Will Smith. They're just pawns, and they're just the jokers in the game. We're the pawns in the game of the King's Court. They're the jokers. They also burned out Oprah Winfrey and Galita in Santa Barbara, and then they rained them out 3 days after, just like they rained out the people and washed away the evidence in Paradise, folks. In Paradise, they did the same thing. The rains come right after the fires to wash away the evidence. So a picture is worth 10,000 words, as the Chinese have said. This picture doesn't tell you what's going on. Nothing will. Forecast rainfall Saturday 4 a.m. Paradise fire started Thursday morning. 2 days later, the rains came. Look at the totals in Bernie, 9/11. Alturas, 9/11. 9/11. Get it? And look at the rainfall. This is Red Bluff to Paradise is maybe 30 miles as the crow flies. 6.66 inches of rain. And Truckee up north higher elevation got 84 inches, 0.84 inches. And then you got the 9/11s, folks. 666. It could not be more in your face. This was a photograph sent to us, so went in Facebook about a week ago. People have said it's possible that while Trump was there, they were staged to protect the president. Possibly. But that's an assault rifle, folks. That shoots 1,800 meters. What is a Cal Fire Forest Department employees manning a sniper rifle to protect the president? Not buying it. We have photographs from the crime scene. That's shot out with bullets, folks. Doesn't mean it was the Cal Fire snipers at all. It's just more evidence that what we're being told and sold is not the truth. Under some circumstances, given the cost to society and the danger to inhabitants, some homes, however, believe it may be time to break the burn, rebuild, burn again cycle. New terminology. Burn, rebuild, burn again cycle. That might mean not rebuilding an area repeatedly ravaged by fire and helping residents to relocate, said the Hoover Institute think tank at Stanford University, who helped develop climate change policy during the Obama administration. Who are they working for? Who are they funded by? Ford Foundation. Community might let its residents know and agree in advance if burn areas yet again, no rebuilding will be allowed. Santa Rosa, Redding, Lake County, Malibu, Santa Barbara, Paradise, Thousand Oaks. You're not going to rebuild. They're hitting us again and again and again. There's a whole lot of reasons not to rebuild. Wildfire needed much stricter building codes, including the possibility of retroactive code revisions to force homeowners to make their property fire resistant. Relocating residents wouldn't be without precedent. Entire neighborhoods in North Carolina were relocated to higher ground after three or four homes were flooded by hurricanes. In Malibu, single ocean view mansions routinely hit the real estate listings in the millions, acquiring property and moving residents. Malibu is a whole different part of the planet, said Professor, environmental analyst and history of Pomona College. The dilemmas that come there are many and costly. The community could, for instance, buy up development rights in the place where they are yet to burn. The community could, for instance, buy up development rights in places that are yet to burn. Oh, really? And I haven't done this, but I'm sure that none of this guy's homes got burned up in Malibu. Larry Ellison, third richest man behind Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, buying up property in Malibu years ago. What did he know? When did he know it? These are his homes, folks, right on the beachfront. Are they clearing for the elite? Are they making their properties for themselves and they already purchased? Remember, Larry Ellison bought up Lanai, the island of Lanai, founder of Oracle. Did any of Larry Ellison's homes get taken down? Are they going to eminent domain Larry Ellison's homes? Very doubtful. You see what's going on here? Then I'll end again full circle back to December 5th testimony, eyewitness testimony from Miss Margaret Moore, Malibu. Burning 3 times as hot as normal forest fire and traveling 4 times as fast, I am certain a military-grade accelerant is being used. I am attaching a photo of the plane I saw overhead the morning before my whole community caught on fire. I originally thought it was a water bomber. It was not. No water bombers showed up for 3 days. God bless. God bless you, Margaret Ann Moore. And here's the photograph she attached, folks. We know what's happening now. Tag, you're it. Get this out. Share. Help. Support. And love one another. They're paving paradise and they're putting up a parking lot. Plans don't include us or our children. Let that sink in and cultivate your common sense. And act. And our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that truly matter. And there comes a time when silence is betrayal. Tag, you're it.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can I get a 5x5? Can you guys hear me? All right. How's everybody holding up this evening? Y'all doing good? Oh, I should. Here's a link to that video. His video is getting pretty hard to find. They pretty much deleted him. He's still got some stuff on Rumble I seen, and his website's still up. But other than that, they pretty much disappeared him. Wonder why. I do have awesome mods. Was somebody being naughty? I had to boot one out. Oh, get some chemical snow. They got us scheduled for a little. We're supposed to get a light dump. They sprayed hard today, though. We had about 2 hours of sunshine. Oh, I will. I put the link in the chat there. I'll put it down in the description after this is done too. What's up, Rage Against the Machine? Oh yeah, I think they're sticking to their schedule. There's no doubt about that. No doubt. No, it's not going to be good, especially as dry as this winter. They're going to be a lot of burning in 2025 going on. And I'll guarantee 99% of it will not be natural. Good job, Nez. Yeah, it's been bad here too. If they're feeling generous, they'll give us, a couple hours. Other than that, you're lucky if you can get an hour. I've seen that. It's good to know you're all right. Not cool what they're doing down there. Somebody had let's see if it's still going on. Stand by. I'm not going to keep you guys long. I was just thinking about old Jamie Lee this evening. Now, y'all know that they took him out. When you call out the Jesuits, you're going to get punished. Oh, yeah, what was I doing? Sorry. Excuse me. It's been a long day. But the days are getting longer. There's one positive thing we got. The days are getting longer. And chaos is getting out of control. Oh, here we go. Rise has a live stream of the fires going this evening. If anybody's interested, I'll put that in the old chat. And who else was putting up some? Let's see here. Okay, I'm not going to go into a rant tonight. Never mind. Sorry. What was I looking for? Hold on. Did they take it down? Boy, videos don't last long in 1984. I mean, 2025. Where was it? Here we go. Hurting Humanity put up a pretty good video about some smart meter stuff, because we know that's part of the weapon system. There's a link there. If you want to watch that, pass that info around. But anyhow, I don't know. Wouldn't it be nice just to have one day of peace? No chaos, no spraying, no death and destruction. Me too, rare breeds. Me too. But anyhow, I will get back on the 16-day forecast, and I will have a camera here. Should be here next week. So I'll actually, you won't have to stare at my special pictures I put up there for you. But I hope y'all know I love you with all my heart, and I pray for y'all every day. And I do appreciate all the support. You keep me going. And my naughty children. But so I'm going to put on an ending video. Y'all can say goodnight. You'll have 6-7 minutes. And stay alert, stay alive.
my destiny, forsaken by my own mind. I must remove my skin to see belief in your eyes. All that I know, there was no God for me. For that shattered soul, absence of humanity.
Pretty hard to miss. Black Death. Jeez, Frontier. Sorry, it's gonna get a little shaky. He's a long ways away. And tripod is stiff. That is a death up there. That's probably number 2 biggest Black Death today.